You good?
I'm good.
How do we make the intro?
That's your job.
SUV crash into a crowd of people. He's the victim. How do you fucking figure that?
Anyways, thank you for joining us. Now that we got your attention now, we hope that you had a good Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, many families over the last weekend could not have a Thanksgiving due to what happened in Waukesha, Wisconsin. A black supremacist terrorist crashed his car through a group of people, mostly white people.
This guy is a BLM supporter, and he made it very public and very clear that he hates white people and wants to kill white people, right?
Oh, but there's no motive though. They could not outline a motive. This guy has, and we'll show you, has made repeated threats on white people. A follower of Malcolm X, and showed an expressed interest in killing white people. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a motive right there. And it's just absolutely disgusting. And what this illustrates is how the media has radicalized black people. Just leftists, but people in general. For about a year straight, they lied about the Kyle Rittenhouse case. They lied about Kyle. They called him a white supremacist. They said he was a terrorist. It's all projection at this point. Everything they do, they project onto you. Have you noticed they're all pedophiles? Like, all their enemies are pedophiles.
Yep.
Joseph Rosenbaum in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. This guy, Darrell Brooks Jr., he's also a pedophile. I mean, how come all our enemies are pedophiles?
Let's just cut to the chase here. Let's quickly go through some articles. And the reason we're making this video is because whenever a black person commits a crime, it gets washed away in the media.
Wait, where did everybody go? You want to make the media go away? Just mention black on black crime.
Whenever a black person commits a crime, let's say there's a shooting, it goes person shooting. It never says black person shooting. If a white person does a shooting, it goes white person shooting. So they always make sure to pick on white people and like leave black people out of the fucking equation. Like, black people are victims and black people never commit any crimes. It's like, look, there's a disproportionate number of blacks and whites in America. There are more white people than there are black people in America, yet there is more black crime. Figure that one out, dummy. I'm not racist, that's just a fact. Now let's look at some articles here quick, hey?
Well, first of all, it's kind of hilarious how the media is scrambling. They're grasping for straws at this point because they have to maintain the narrative, because maintaining the narrative means they maintain power. What is this?
Let's look at just a bunch of different articles that never say that he's a black person. Then let's look at some articles.
Well, here's the Washington Post. Here's what we know so far on the sequence of events that led to the Waukesha tragedy caused by an SUV. Oh yeah, they deleted that tweet, by the way, because the backlash.
Yeah, caused by an SUV. Here's another one. On November 21st, 2021, a vehicle was driven through an annual Christmas parade in Wisconsin, killing 5 people and injuring more than 40 others. Never in there does it mention that he's a black person. Next article.
Well, this is a Wikipedia page, but here's a little game we like to play, right? It's called, ready? The song, Can You Imagine If the Races Were Reversed? Here's the thing, right? Let's just say...
Yeah, he doesn't like when I talk. He just likes to take over like a fucking cunt.
I want to demonstrate this point though, right? Can you imagine?
Yeah, demonstrate it after.
If it was, I'm not talking to you. If it
I don't
was
even care about this
a
video
white
anymore.
guy
Yeah.
that rammed through a Black Lives Matter protest.
Yeah, there'd be fire and riots and looting and crime, and the whole world would suffer.
America would burn.
America would burn, and a black guy commits a crime and nothing happens. It's washed away in the media the next fucking day. Literally the next day.
Well,
anyways, more articles. Check this out. The driver of an SUV killed 6 people and injured 62 others. Read this whole thing. Doesn't mention his name, doesn't mention he's black.
Well, it's
next
Wikipedia.
Article.
It's not an article, but...
Yeah, it's text.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Driver of a sport utility vehicle killed 6 people and injured 62 others. Never in these articles or Wikipedia pages or anywhere does it mention that the person was black. Never does it mention that he was a BLM supporter. Never does it mention that he wanted to kill white people. Never does it mention any of this stuff. Yet, if it's a white person, like, and the races were reversed, it will be specific in mentioning that. It'll have white in all capital letters. There'll be racism, the word racism. There'll be the word white supremacy. It's an agenda. You're fooled. They're trying to push an agenda. Elaborate.
Well, I think like I said before, the media is complicit in this because who radicalized him? I mean, like I said, you tell lies. There are still people that think that Kyle Rittenhouse shot black people. There are people that think that Kyle went to Kenosha, Wisconsin, armed with an AR-15 and had his heart set on murdering black people. Completely false, by the way.
Yeah.
They still think that he crossed state lines.
He crossed it line.
No, the gun, there wasn't, the weapon did not cross state lines. It was from Kenosha. It was given to him. He was asked to be there, right? So there's people that still believe this narrative. It's a Google search away, by the way. Same with this guy getting radicalized by the media. When the media lies to you, maybe you think that white people, by the way, this guy crashed his car through a group of people. The media likes to play this game that he's innocent, that he was running away from a domestic disturbance or something like that. No, he rolled his car up. There was an actual officer that knocked on his window, right? And he crashed through the barricades, several barricades. When you watch the video, you will see that the vehicle had prior damage. So he had to crash through several barricades and he went right through. Look, put the video on right now. We have to show you this video. Sound.
It's just fucking disgusting, man.
That is absolutely
Fucking
evil.
Absolutely gross. There's other angles of this, by the way. We're not going to show you all these different videos. There's other angles, but it's fucking evil. It's disgusting. It's people full of black hearts. And check this out. BLM supporter starts a GoFundMe page for Darrell Brooks, asserting that Brooks was a victim of racism. So, oh no, he ran over people because he's a victim of racism, so it's all okay, you know, it's just, he's hurting, he's a victim of racism. We know that he ran over and killed a bunch of people and ruined the lives of people, but he's a victim of racism. Can't you cut him a break?
Well,
really?
GoFundMe took it down, by the way, but
yeah, but
it took him a week.
Yes. Took him a week. Kyle Rittenhouse GoFundMe's go up and it goes down in hours.
Yeah, it was
Shut the
like
fuck
a few
up.
hours.
You're interrupting me. Remember that shooting, that black kid shooting? What's his name? The school shooting with that black kid?
Timothy Simpkins?
Yeah, Timothy Simpkins. He was a victim of what? Bullying. So it's okay to shoot a school because he was a victim of bullying.
Claims it was bullying.
Imagine if Timothy Simpkins was white. Would it be okay because he was bullied then? No, he'd be a racist, he'd be white supremacist, he'd be in jail, there'd be riots and fucking looting. Don't you see what's happening? What's happening right now in the world today, Ryland, is that there is actual racism towards white people. Actual public official racism towards white people.
Remember the tiki torches in Georgia where they were screaming, "You will not replace us"? And one guy ran over one rioter, Heather Heyer. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear that name ever again. This guy murdered 7 people, half them children, half them senior citizens, and injured 40 plus more. There are children on life support in hospitals right now. I mean, that's just
the world we live in, right? It's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take anything home from this video, it's that there's actual racism towards white people. And that black on black crime of any kind, if it's caused by a black person or by a BLM person, it gets shoveled under the rug.
Well, this is the poison that is critical race theory. Critical race theory posts that black people cannot be racist because they're not in a position of power. If you're not in a position of power, you cannot be racist. So, and they're teaching this stuff in schools. Like I said, they're not teaching this stuff in elementary schools, right? It's a college level course. But they're teaching critical race theory applied principles in school. For example, if you have a black person or a white person being stopped by a police officer, how much times does the black person get stopped by police? They're putting this in your children's minds. Children are like sponges. They absorb everything. They're gonna grow up to be little activist monsters. They are brainwashing your child. Pull your child out of public school. In public school, your child's more likely to get molested and more likely to be indoctrinated, not necessarily in that order. Find a private school, homeschool, do whatever you can. Just get your fucking kids out of school.
Yep.
Like, it's done. And I don't know, man, I'm tired of, there's no heroes anymore. Have you noticed that? I mean, just, when you see a threat, like Alex Jones says, when you see a threat coming down on you, deal with it. Stop being weak. Stop being a fucking pussy. Deal with it. When you see some guy beating his girlfriend up, deal with it. Be a human again.
Yeah.
Like, be a human.
Yeah. Have you seen these YouTube videos where like there's a guy standing at a gas pump fueling his truck, and some girl runs up to him because she's a victim of active domestic violence.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend's beating the shit out of her. She runs up to this guy, asks for help, and he just fucking stands there. She goes onto the truck to hide from her boyfriend, and the guy just fucking stands there and keeps fueling his truck. The boyfriend literally drags her out from underneath the truck, and then puts her on his shoulder, and then walks away. Throws her into his car, walks away, and the guy just stands there, finishes fueling his truck, and fucking drives away. And there's also other people in the same gas station, and they do nothing about it. We need heroes in today's world.
Not zeros that take their SUVs and run through. It's funny, if
the guy had a fucking hissy fit, and he's like, I don't like white people bad, I'ma kill white people.
Well, here's the thing.
And then he did it, and now he's a victim of racism, so it's okay.
Well, it's not just
you.
white people in that parade. There were people of all walks of life, different skin
They don't give a
colors.
shit, dude. Look at this video.
Come on, Carl. I work too hard for this. People don't even understand that.
What's this?
Come on. It's not right.
This is a black guy who got his fucking life destroyed.
It's not right what y'all doing. I came from the ghetto too. Same as all of you did. Y'all need to listen. But y'all
What a fucking poor guy, man.
They burnt up his business.
Black power. You mad at the white man? Why destroy my business?
There you go. You mad at the white man, why you destroy my business? Because they don't give a fuck. They will, if you're in the way, you're in the way.
It's just, I'm gonna say this again. Be a hero. Stop being weak. Become a human. Don't be a pussy. Deal with it.
Too many weak pussies out there.
Go out there, deal with it. Like you said, get fired. Deal with it. Deal with your problems. Stop being weak. Like, stop being a pussy. Like, how do you go home to your fat wife after you know, when she has like 4 days shaving stubble, and you gotta look in her eyes and you gotta say, I did the right thing for my country.
The point of this video is to wake up. I mean, more and more people are waking up every day, right? And seeing the world for what it is. But things are becoming so fucking blatantly obvious. Black guy, BLM supporter, professes his hate for white people, rams his car into a crowd of people, killing many, injuring lots. And it's perfectly fine, because he's a victim of racism. If that does not strike anger and fear into you, then you are part of the problem.
This was a terrorist attack. Darrell Brooks Jr.
Literally
was
a terrorist attack.
He was actually let out on bail. He has a rap sheet of criminality and constant recidivism. The guy was let out of jail, I think for a domestic.
How is this
battery? $1,000 bail because of progressive policies allow these criminals to walk the street. It's like when they let out all these criminals from Rikers in New York City, and then there's an uptick in rapes and burglary because they discontinued the anti-crime unit. There was random stabbings on the subway. It was unbelievable. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, the media is trying to cover it up because the narrative has to be maintained that white rage is a thing. Kyle Rittenhouse is the enemy, and again, black people are incapable of committing heinous acts and crime.
Yeah.
Because they have to maintain the narrative. That means power. That the narrative means everything. Even if kids have to die. By the way, like I said, there are children right now on life support. They have to die because they have to maintain the narrative. And these people in the media, celebrities like Pedro Pascal, you fucking pedophile sympathizer, by the way. These people know they're wrong, and they choose to lie. Yeah. They choose to lie because these people are evil.
It's the worst kind of person. It's one thing to be fooled, but it's another thing to be fooled and then push that agenda.
Exactly.
Why?
But this was a dark episode.
This was a dark episode. Fuck, black people can literally get away with murder. That's where we are today.
Well, it's projection. White people get away from murder. It's
no, we
all
don't.
projection.
It's justice. White people go to jail all the time for murder.
Everything
Fuck's
they
sakes,
do,
look it up.
They project they project on their enemies.
Kyle Rittenhouse did not murder 2 people. Kyle Rittenhouse had to kill them in self-defense or he would have been killed. That is not murder.
That's a Google search.
Murder is a premeditated thing. Murder is, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker, and then you pull the trigger. Murder is not, I'm getting the shit beat out of me, I gotta save myself. That's not murder, stupid.
They are stupid.
Murder is Darrell Brooks driving his fucking SUV through a crowd of people. That's murder.
No, it was an SUV attack.
Oh no, he an SUV attack, dummy.
Can you
Fuck
imagine?
you, fuck you.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap this video up. I just want some good news. I'm tired of...
We did get good news. We got Kyle Rittenhouse good news.
Well,
That's
this was what happened here in Waukesha, Wisconsin was a response by a black supremacist terrorist to the acquittal of young Kyle Rittenhouse. That's what happened. People said, people wanted this to happen. They wanted it to happen. I don't, but it has nothing to do with it. It's like 2 days later, it happens on a Sunday. Kyle gets acquitted on a Friday. So, duh? What do you think? Are you awake yet?
Isn't it just sad that people actually want this stuff to happen?
Well, these
An innocent man gets to go free, Kyle Rittenhouse, and there are retards, BLM Antifa, going, we need to burn the city down. Why do you want to burn the city down?
Well,
how is that good for anybody, you fucking dummy?
Let me tell you one thing right now. The reason why Kyle was out there is because you are burning the cities down. When the police don't do their jobs and they hang back, you're going to get more Kyle Rittenhouses because citizens are terrified. When you're in, I don't know, look, I've been to third world countries and there's been civil war. You can smell the smoke. You can hear the fire crackle. You can hear the screams. You're sitting behind a computer screaming like a pussy. You don't see it. Then when it comes to your neighborhood, that's when it matters. And people are terrified. So what do? They get militia groups. They arm themselves because in the United States of America, you have 2A. And they say, enough. Come to our neighborhood, you're looking for a little double barrel surprise, bitch. I'm sorry. And everyone's like, the reason why they hate Kyle is Kyle said no. That's why. Yep. They want you to shut up and take it. They want you to watch your business be burnt to the ground and take it. Just fucking take it. That's what they want. And when you defend yourself, well, we've seen what happened to Kyle, right? So, anyway.
Wow, long video, holy shit.
A lot of screaming.
A lot of screaming.
We have anger issues, but I think it's justified and rightly so. When children die, you have every right to be angry. When young kids, under 10 years old by the way, get their lives taken away from a psychopath black supremacist. I'm gonna say that word over and over again, because the media doesn't tell you this.
Actual black psychopath,
and if you're not angry,
racist supremacist.
You're not angry, you should get your head re-examined.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry for cutting you off.